Hey y'all, it's Queen J Lotus coming through right quick, right fast with some musical messages from Company 3 by Don Toliver off his album Lovesick. And this song was requested by my girl, your queen, Brittany Ariana. And you know, she's a buddy of mine, and she also created this magnificent spiritual group on Facebook named Sippy Concha, and I assist in adminning for the group with her. But without further ado, we're gonna go ahead and get into the specificities of these musical messages. So off rip, I don't, you know what I'm saying? I don't listen to Don Toliver, not because I don't like him or nothing. It ain't that. It's just, I don't know. We just ain't crossed paths like this here until now. Like, I done lightly heard about him, but nothing has made me wanna just get into it. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, until now. So definitely appreciative of the introduction. And with that being said, very, very interesting interaction with this song. The vibe I get is it has a sad type of energy attached to it that is somewhat heavily charged through it also, which is very, very interesting to me because this is a love sex song, if you will. So I guess the sadness will put it on some dark R&B type shit. Anywho, let's get into these channeled messages with all that being stated and related. Okay, so Company 3. That number 3 stands out significantly to me. And the angel number 3 is all about creation. It is also a number of balance, and is heavily implicative of divine purpose. So when you see the number 3, either you need to embrace your divine purpose more, you need to redirect yourself to your divine purpose, or you are on the right track. In this case, it's given a vibe that those of you that are resonating with this song and that have been met with this song with a strong embrace, such a strong embrace to draw you here to learn more on it and more about yourself through it, there is a need to, one, pat yourself on the back more for being on the right path and committing to the right path. And also, it's time to up the ante, enhance your embracing of your divine path. And we're going to talk about exactly what that means as we get through the specificities of the cards more so, okay? But before we get there, we got a few more channel messages to tap into. So many of you are in need of more intimate interactions, not just sex. Now, this is coming through that y'all need more sex in your life, more sensual activity along the sexual nature of things. Yes, protect yourself at all times. But also, remember that intimacy goes beyond sex and romance. And that there is also a form of intimacy that takes place and can happen with your friendships and your family relationships and things of that nature. And of course, if your friends are more like your family, then, it also goes hand in hand. But all that to say that there needs to be more time, effort, and a little more energy put into your friendships and building a bond with your friends, your soul family, your regular family. And like I said, acknowledging that everybody is not cool for simple terms. Everybody is not cool with their blood relatives, and everybody don't have to be cool with their blood relatives because they're still your family. Don't, always work like that. Okay, I ain't got to say too much on the subject, but you know what it is. So it's like, even if you're one of those people that don't have, blood relative families, like I said, your friends or more like your family, then, get it how you live. But in simple terms, y'all need to make more space to form bonds and build and work on your relationship with your friends, and not just putting all of your energy into I'm getting an intense hermit mode that's becoming recluse, and also too much energy going into romantic relationships, or the trying to work on a romantic relationship, or trying to build and enhance and all of that. That's great, but it's just you have a bigger purpose outside of that, and some of you are getting lost in the sauce of the fixation on that, and it's causing you to become creatively blocked. Therefore, your sacral chakra having some distortions and lack of fulfillment there. And also, it is causing you all to be on a frequency of neediness and a frequency of deprivation, because essentially you are depriving yourself of really good bonds, really good relationships, really good interactions, really good conversations, really good experiences and memories and things of that nature that you could be creating. And also purposes and goals and accomplishments, even outside of money, career, and all of that. Just more to life. So much more to life that many of you all have been missing out on, because all of your energy has been going into one place or one type of relationship, or just these two relationships, because it could be possible that some of you have been solely working on your relationship with yourself and working on your relationship with this one other person, and it could be romantic, it could be one other friendship that you have, or something of the sort. And it's just that you're meant to have more interactions and link ups and collaborations with more people than just the people that you're limiting yourself to. And so that's definitely where balance comes in. So, perfect timing to go ahead and segue into the specificities of the cards. And we're going to start off with the first card that was low-key, high-key already mentioned just by happenstance. The sacral chakra. The sacral chakra card came up as the divine intended frequency of this song. So this card is representing the frequency, the transfer of energy that the divine realm intended for and through this song through Toliver. So, sacral chakra. The frequency of the sacral chakra, the orange flower of life, supports our ability to flow with our desires and stimulates our creative power to manifest success and abundance in our lives. So that, for one, reaffirms and confirms what I was just saying about needing to have more intimate interactions with other people outside of sex, romance, and outside of yourself. Spirit is basically saying that many of you have gotten to a point of being emotionally self-sufficient and building a good bond with yourself enough and a good relationship with yourself. Not saying that that isn't a continuous thing to do throughout your life and throughout your interactions, but y'all are in a good space, and it's a good time for y'all to start really, in a way, practicing what you've learned over the past couple of years, even over the past couple of months, starting to implicate those things in different relationships and build more faith in yourself and more faith in other people. You learned and had all those other experiences for you to have new and better experiences and really get to see and show yourself and show the world and show other people how far you've come. As well as, like I said, and much like the description of the card says, and about the sacral chakra and all of that, about having interactions where you're able to be fruitful and multiply in different ways, specifically such as in the ways of interacting with other people who have both the same mindset as you and the same goals as you, as well as different mindsets and different goals, and y'all being able to come together and collaborate and integrate all of that and create new, innovative, magnificent things, if nothing more than experiences. So it's literally y'all need company. And I am picking up that there are some things here concerning trauma in past friendships that needs to be unpacked and shed and, reevaluated as well, so that you can shed it and, I guess have some of your final breakthroughs over it, because that is coming up as a major thing that has had you all in a stage of getting your shit together, yes, but there's also this mindless avoidance going on where we're avoiding crowds. And I'm not talking about out of anxiety or social battery low. I'm talking about a mindless, subconscious, trauma responsive avoidance of forming bonds and building bonds with people. It seems like many of you get your one person that you like, or your one or two people that you like, and you just fixate on them and you get comfortable with them. And again, there's nothing wrong with having like a small crowd of mains, you know what I'm saying? Because having a big friend group is not always, you know what I'm saying, legit. But what this is it's a need for balance. Again, it's about balance. And many of you have been flat out avoiding having just fun, playful, creative interactions with people because you're so afraid of being betrayed and so afraid of being hurt and so afraid of essentially forming a bond with a person and then having it broken or taken away. And it's similar to how a lot of, say women in particular, because I've mostly seen it with women and the way that women are socialized, it be like that. Where women can often make relationships with men harder on themselves in the way of being, bringing more anxiety on themselves, because every interaction they have with a male, or every date or excursion or whatever that they have with a male, they're constantly thinking in their head, oh my gosh, am I going to be able to deal with this forever? Oh my gosh, what if we get married and da 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 da? And it's like, it doesn't have to be that hard. It's like, you don't have to go into every interaction automatically overthinking where it's gonna go, and that you have to end up being the best of friends with this person. You don't have to be best friends with everybody. Sometimes it is appropriate to put people in certain boxes. So you may have your best friend, and then you may have people that you go to the bar with, and you may have people that you go to the movies with. Just like you have people that you confide in wholeheartedly and tell your deepest secrets to. And then you have others that that's not what they do. That ain't for them. That ain't for you to be talking about with them. And this journey that is being spoken about through this song and with these messages, the frequency that the divine is passing through here, it's about you all, once again, like I said, taking that wisdom. And the wisdom is the boundaries that you've learned to set. Many of you have had a lot of experiences in your life that have been all about learning about boundaries and having healthy relationships, fun relationships that also have healthy boundaries that enhance the relationship and enhance the fun of the relationships. And so you all have been depriving yourself of making use of the wisdom that you've gained. And so putting yourself out there again and allowing yourself to those interactions and put that wisdom into play, it's going to bring you a whole new refreshing essence on life and on yourself. And for some of you, it's going to make you more aware of how you've been limiting yourself in vulnerability and intimacy in your romantic relationships, and how that functionality or lack of functionality with your other relationships have also played a part in that. And it seems like you're going to realize that through getting the benefit of changing your approach and changing your routine and functionality. And so it's going to make you realize what you've been missing out on. And so we're going to go ahead and segue on over into the next card, which is the card that represents Don Toliver's intended frequency, intended transfer of energy through this song, Company 3. And the card that he got is Balance, Spirituality, and Practicality. Full moon in Pisces. And so you might want to do some research on the full moon in Pisces, and also look up when the last full moon in Pisces was, and see if you can reminisce upon what was going on in your life at the time and what you were doing at the time, surrounding the time, all that. But this gets really straight to the point, as I've been talking about balance this whole time, as it is talking about balancing spirituality and practicality. And so again, that is really synchronized with the intended frequency of the divine, with the sacral chakra card, just kind of in a different way. And I feel like that different way is, whereas the other card is the sacral chakra, this one is blue and it's giving more throat chakra energy. House of Never, the throat chakra is in certain ways needing to be healed through the sacral chakra. And what's interesting about that also is that this is the full moon in Pisces and it's radiating a throat chakra balancing energy and intent, House of Never, through a water sign. And water is associated with the sacral chakra. But with all of that being said, the interactions that you're meant to have with people and the activities that y'all do, there's a heavy emphasis on conversation and utilizing your throat chakra more, giving more of your perspective, giving more of your opinion on things, sharing more about the things that you've researched, the things that you've learned, the things that you've learned through classes and different trainings and things of that nature. And all of this is to lead you to being more vocal about all of the things that you know, the things that you observe, the things that you've been through, and the things that you want to do as well. Because what I'm picking up on here also being the fact that this card is giving Don Toliver's intent. I'm picking up that something in this song or something about this song, he was trying something new. And it makes sense why I was kind of getting the vibe of him holding back. And the energy that's channeling through is basically kind of validating that feeling that I had, that he was trying something new, and in the midst, he was holding back. What I'm hearing is that Don Toliver has a stronger voice and a more lyrical ability, a greater lyrical ability than he has given himself credit for, and that he has allowed himself to really display. And I'm picking up that that's something that he learned through or realized through the creation and the distribution of this song and seeing how different people react to it and things of that nature. And with that being said, it's a way that you all are synchronizing with him. Whereas, like I kind of said before, you're about to start realizing how you've been selling yourself short, because you're about to want to start and really need to start acting on those impulses to take leaps of faith and try some new things, try out some new interactions, and let it all fall into place and let yourself be great. And it's going to help you integrate your worlds appropriately. That's where the balance in spirituality and practicality come in. Pisces tend to get very daydreamy and can easily get lost in the sauce and fixated on it's like tunnel vision. They can very easily get tunnel visioned on things and end up falling into like a frequency of delusion. And y'all are not delusional. That's not what I'm saying here. Y'all are not in that state or frequency of delusion. But like I mentioned earlier about the fixation on things and that kind of becoming a distraction from all the other multitude of things that you're meant to be doing and meant to be bringing into fruition. That's what it is. And for those of you that do spiritual work, it's spirit also saying that balance. balance. You've been heavily involved and active in a whole lot of other dimensions, and it has gotten or has been getting a bit excessive, and it's causing you to not be as grounded as you need to be and should be, as well as, like, constantly reiterated here, blocking your sacral chakra, blocking your ability to really enjoy the exchanges of energy. So it's not delusion, but it is somewhat of a warning that if there isn't any balance established sooner than later, then you might start heading into a frequency of delusion, because you won't be seeing things in this earth realm as you need to in its grand scheme and bigger picture of things. And you can lose sight of being present in who you are in this life and in this lifetime and all of what you're supposed to be doing. And that segues us perfectly into the lyrical message. So I jotted down some channeled lyrics, shuffled them up, and the one that came out was divinely designed, honey. And the one that came out was, if you don't like it, throw it back. If you don't like it, throw it back. I'm trying to hit you from the back. Now, I know I didn't sing that exactly how it goes. That's just how I felt it at the time. But that is the lyric that was divinely chosen here. And this is something that he chants as like a bridge and kind of like a refrain. And again, this word interesting coming up. It's very interesting the way that he decided to arrange that, because there are just like a lot of lyrics and vibes going on at one time. And it's like he's asking for company, but at the same time, it doesn't seem like he truly believes that he's going to get it, or that he's truly worthy of it, like that he's truly desired in it, right? And so after all of these other lyrics about how he's longing for this and how he's that dude and he be like this here and all this, that, and the third, and we should link, I want to know what it's like to be inside you and all, you know what I'm saying? All this other stuff. And then to, if you don't like it, throw it back. Now, on one hand, what's coming through here is a realization of worth, and that's really on both hands, but it's two different perspectives, because some of you may be struggling with this thing where it's a part of that avoidance, where you may have a tendency to mindlessly, it's habitually at this point, but mindlessly talk down on yourself, or lead conversation with descriptions of yourself as being difficult or being a bitch, or, you know, whatever flaw, you know, inserted there. But essentially kind of talking down on yourself and making yourself seem undesirable. And it seems like it's come from a place of that avoiding connection and kind of not wanting to be approachable. And so it's not really that you genuinely think less of yourself. It's literally that you don't want anyone else to desire you because you're afraid that they won't handle you properly and that it'll go sour and you end up hurt again. And for others of you, you're avoiding it altogether. It's like you may be saying to yourself, or have said to yourself, oh, I need to have more friend time. Oh, I need to go out and do such and such. I need to link with these folks. But then you just don't. Or you find some reason to tap out. Or you go out and you just keep it very, very at arm's reach. Very at arm's reach. They're seemingly engaging, but not really present. Not really taking in the moment. Not really taking in the different personalities and people that are around you. And a lot of that is associated with fear. And it's a need to get off of the frequency and response of fear and onto being secure and enjoying yourself and enjoying interactions with people and knowing that you're going to be okay regardless, knowing that you are capable of protecting yourself with boundaries. But boundaries don't mean complete avoidance and complete lack of presence. And that's what is being kicked off. That's the journey that's being kicked off for y'all to learn and to ultimately teach yourselves in a way. And that is ultimately why y'all have the war card, because you may already be kind of in a space, and or some of you are about to be, like I said, in the midst of this kind of interesting discovery journey of socializing and mingling and linking and collabing and integrating and things of that nature. And it's going to cause an internal war, because it's going to create confusion, because you're so used to functioning a certain way. Like I said, it's become a habit. So some of what I've stated that many of you have been doing has been like kind of mindless, because it's been such a habit. And this journey and these new experiences are going to be bringing to your attention the lack of flexibility that you've been putting on yourself. Because you are, the reason why I say it like that is because many of you are multifaceted, and you know that you're multifaceted. And so it's going to be kind of mind-boggling to look up and be like, damn, I was doing all of this and still limiting myself. Like, I knew I was capable of all of this, yet I was still limiting myself in this way, in this little simple way. Dang. And so that's subject to trigger up more habits that need to be shed concerning beating yourself up for not knowing everything, beating yourself up for not always being right, beating yourself up for some things going over your head. And Me saying this may bring it to your attention, but the experience of it is going to bring it even more so to your attention. How those feelings of being afraid of being wrong, being afraid of making mistakes, you're going to realize that the beating yourself up for essentially being flawed is attached to somehow you learning to blame yourself for your own heartbreaks. It's like people have betrayed you, or many of you, people have betrayed you, and then somehow you find a way to blame yourself and beat yourself up for it or punish yourself in some way. And for many of you, that way that you've been punishing yourself is to not form bonds with other people, because essentially what your shadow self has been saying to you, what your inner critic has been doing to you and saying to you, is that you don't deserve other intimate relationships. You don't deserve friendships. You don't deserve intimacy. You don't deserve to enjoy those things because you were so stupid you were able to be hurt. Shout out to For Color Girls. But you see how crazy that sounds? Some people hurt you, the great person that you are, that you know that you are. And somehow you have this subconscious learned behavior to beat yourself up for it. And that's also why this war card is here, because there's some habit going on of many of you waging war on yourself. And in a way, many of your healing journeys have been a bit polluted in a way. Like, not unsuccessful, but just like polluted and limited. There's that word again. Some of your healing process has been limited because of that subconscious habit, that subconscious learned behavior of raging war on yourself. So when you get to the part of the healing process that is about accountability, you've been kind of doing it in an excessive way. As well as when it comes to boundaries, like I said before, it's been done in an excessive way to a point where it is you punishing yourself. And I'm not gonna lie, for some of you, this is very deep rooted, and it's going to take some specific interactions and some specific experiences for y'all to really get the picture and really shake and shed that off. And with that being said, we're gonna go ahead and get into the final two cards for this layout. Well, somewhat of the two final cards, but you'll see what I mean in just a sec. And also, these cards are going to elaborate a bit of what I was just saying about the certain specific experiences that some of you may have to really get to a point where you're not only aware and clear of what the issue is, based off everything that I said, but also to have an understanding of what you need to do in order to shake and shed it and essentially fix it and find resolutions for it. So real quick, I first want to touch on these three cards here, which are actually, from what I found, it is a steal from the music video for the song Company 3. 3 cards, okay, first of all. Number 2, I was not expecting that. I was channeling, and as I was channeling, a vision, an image of the Tower card appeared. Then I went to search in here and look at the Tower card there. And also think about everything that I done said now, and that is the Hermit card that is beneath it. Okay? All of that I done said about the Hermit mode, the recluse, the balance, all of that. And so, look at the order now. Look at it from left to right. Or maybe even down and over. But so, yeah, Hermit card over there to the left, down and over. Then you got the Tower. Now, like I said, some specific experiences that have to happen for you to get a specific type of clarity and understand a specific type of action that needs to be taken as a result. And that is essentially a concept of the Tower card. And then after the Tower, both as a channeled message and as it is laid out, is the Lovers. So remember me saying that this mindless, subconscious, taught, learned behaviors and things of that nature that have been putting you on the frequency of deprivation and essentially turning into a recluse and avoiding friendships and avoiding fun, punishing yourself, all this, that, and the third, going through the things that you got to go through and do in order to rectify all of that. It's going to move you closer to your soul family and twin flame. And those of you that are already in connections with your twin flame and with your soul family, it is going to enhance those relationships. It's going to enhance your relationship with yourself, as well as enhancing your talents and your spiritual abilities. And in case you ain't know, your talents and your spiritual abilities are tied to each other. Your talent is essentially the earth realm version of your spiritual gift. Now let's go ahead and look at the cards that came out in the pool. So these are divine love messages through the song by Toliver Company 3. Divine love messages. Tisk. And so we have Temperance and the Tower. Now, the Temperance is, of course, all about balance. That is also a type of scale, indicating just a different form of balance going on there in that imagery. And there's that Tower card again. So let's talk about the Tower card first, because I've been talking about the balance of it all this time. So we're gonna get back to what I ain't said, perhaps on that in just a sec. Anywho, for this Tower card here, for some of you, some things that you value, some things that you probably didn't even know that you valued that much, may start to take a few hits in the near future if it hasn't already happened. And I'm not gonna lie, this is meant to trigger you to ask for help. And this is also meant to clear out a distraction or two or a couple. Because remember, I've been saying that Spirit is saying that certain things that you've been pouring your energy to, having all your eggs in one basket, it's had you distracted, bars. It's had you distracted from some other divine purposes that you should be having going on as well. And so Spirit is literally taking some hits at some of those things that have you essentially distracted in order to redirect your attention and your focus and kind of get some redirection and reforming, reprioritizing of your values. And so, like I said, for some of you, how this recluse functionality, in simple terms, has kind of been taking a toll on your relationship in certain subtle ways for many of you, certain small, just little annoying ways for some of you. I'm sorry, but don't be surprised if that starts to progress in not the best ways. Don't fret. Everything is divinely timed and divinely designed. And if that person leaves and never comes back, that's what it was supposed to be, so that who is meant for you can actually come in. And if you and your mate just have a little off period, not necessarily break up perhaps, but just have like some downtime, some a little bit of separation, if you will, don't fret. Use that time to have some new and different interactions. And again, I ain't telling nobody to cheat on their mate. That ain't what I'm saying at all. Protect yourself at all times. Be honest at all times. If you want to leave your relationship, you want to date other people, be honest about that first and foremost, and then get your business done. You know what I'm saying? But don't be out here just, you know what I'm saying, bleeding on folks that ain't cut you. But all that to say, make use of that time to form and have these different types of intimacy, so that when you and your partner come back together, it'll be that much stronger and that much more potent, as it is meant to be. Because like I said, some of you, I ain't gonna lie, it's looking like you may realize that the person that you with ain't the person that is really meant for you, or the person that you really want to be with. It's kind of just been comfortable for you because you just been afraid to meet new people and form new bonds. And for some of you, it's just meant for you and your mate to have a little time apart, have some different, like I said, types of interactions, types of intimacy. And I'm not speaking totally sexually and all of that. Having different forms of intimacy outside of sex and outside of romance. We gotta have those different interactions and then come back together and be much stronger and potent. And the Lovers and balance, okay? The Temperance card. And again, I've been repeating that over and over and over and over and over again about the balance that needs to be established and the balance that will be enhanced and reestablished as a result of getting your business done. So this is very nice. This is very nice. This is very nice. It's very cool. Very cool. And the essence is overall very hopeful and giving very much so endless possibilities. And for the cover art and also for the artist, I am going to do a separate video, and I'm going to analyze the artist and the artwork more in itself, but I also will include some more like synchronized messages and things of that nature in there from, more of a more elaborated perspective beyond the song, if you will. And so make sure that you stay tuned for that. And with all that being said, child, if I do say so myself, honey, I have milked this cow dry. And I'm thoroughly appreciative for the exchange of vibes. And if you're feeling synchronized, please do me a divine design and like, share, and subscribe so that you can be one of the first to be back through these queenly quotas for the next time. And be sure to bless my comment section with your questions and conversations. And as always, I bid you all light, love, healing, and liberation. Emphasis on liberation. Mwah.